Welcome to another episode of Synoptus Lightning Round, where we ask 6 rapid-fire questions with some of the sharpest business minds talking about accelerating business value through technology, IT business alignment, and IT leadership development. Now, here's Cameron and David.
I'm David Reddig, CEO of Synoptus. I'm here with Cameron Ames, CTO of Synoptus. Today, we are talking to Brian Kelley, CTO of the Ohio Turnpike and Infrastructure Commission. And we've talked to a lot of business and technology leaders frequently about IT business alignment. And prior to talking to Brian, I would have never imagined the depth of technology leveraged by the Ohio Turnpike and Infrastructure Commission. How about you, Cameron?
I absolutely agree, David. I think that one of the things that when we say every company is an IT company, we kind of take for granted that really is pervasive to just about every level of organization and company. And I think that the Ohio Turnpike Infrastructure Commission is the embodiment of that.
Great. Well, let's jump into the video. So, Brian, how you doing?
I'm doing really well. Thank you.
Great. I'm glad you were able to talk with us today, and let's get into the 6 questions. So tell me a little bit about yourself and a little bit about the Ohio Turnpike and Infrastructure Commission.
Sure. Well, I've been a CIO, CTO for 30 years now, and specifically focused in public sector and government. So right now I'm the CTO of the Ohio Turnpike. The Ohio Turnpike is a 241-mile toll road through northern Ohio between Pennsylvania and Indiana, which opened in 1955. We actually installed fiber along the Turnpike in 1984, so we're fully fibered. We're recognized as an essential national transportation corridor between the northeastern and Midwestern United States. We have approximately 54 million vehicles traveling over 3 billion miles on the Ohio Turnpike annually. And our mission is to provide safe and efficient travel for our customers traveling on the Turnpike.
Great. I've driven it many times. I either from Chicago or to Chicago or across, take the Turnpike across the top of the state to on my way to DC. So
we thank you for your toll revenue.
Yep, it's fast and efficient, so I like that. So IT business alignment. How does IT business alignment accelerate business value for the Ohio Turnpike and Infrastructure Commission?
Sure. Well, if we look back 30 years ago, CIOs were the kings and queens, right, of the technology kingdom within the enterprise. And that's greatly changed today. 30 years ago, we were just slapping technology on the desktop and somewhat walking away. But we failed to realize technology's full potential for the business and the organization then. Today, technology is mission critical to any business, any organization. It is for the Ohio Turnpike, and technology is mission critical today to any business, and it determines where your business whether your business thrives or whether it perishes. Quite frankly, it determines where your customer loyals are going to be, where they're not going to be, if they're going to be with you or going to be with somewhere else. So IT business alignment is critical to survival in today's world, and maybe even more important as we come out of COVID-19 crisis. So sales revenue, customer growth, all dependent upon how well technology and the business align together, and important to us in terms of accomplishing our mission.
I really like where you tie that back to your customer satisfaction, right? There's the internal IT, and we often think of this as an internal relationship, but you see it as more of this is how we satisfy our customers, and that's very insightful. So can you tell me how what the biggest challenge is that you see with IT business alignment?
Sure. Well, I think it goes back to the customers and the consumerization of technology today, because that's what's really driving everything. Correct. And so we've got to really focus on the customer, align what we're doing with the customer. So while technology is always evolving, IT paradigms shift frequently in the information age. There are some core critical skills for us as CIOs which remain constant. We must be technology enablers. We must be visionaries. We must be more focused on the people in the business than even the technology itself today. And so we really need to be focusing on how to bring the people, the technology, and the business all together for the customer, for whatever our goals and missions are in terms of what we do.
Great, great answer, and I again like how you tie that back to the customer. That's an interesting point of view. So our listeners and our viewers really like to hear real world outcomes of an IT business alignment initiative. Can you tell our listeners and viewers about a real world positive outcome from an IT business alignment initiative?
Sure. So at the Ohio Turnpike, we do align our technology with business to improve customer service, to increase the efficiency of our operations, to also increase revenue, and then decrease operational costs. So every decision that we make is based around those things. And we've done that well over the history of the Turnpike, more than 65 years. And doing this has allowed us to reliably, consistently, in a very stable manner, achieve our mission. We have a very impressive credit rating because of our financial management, a very conservative view of how we manage our operation and organization. And we don't go out and purchase technology just to purchase technology. We really have to justify the investment. So there's some things when you look at us compared to other toll road operations across the country that we do very differently, but it allows us to operate well financially and satisfy our customers.
So what I hear you saying is because you're in alignment within the Ohio Turnpike and Infrastructure Commission, because you have IT business alignment, your spend is lower and you are able to be more fiscally responsible. And in an age of cost cutting and IT departments facing this cost cutting, it sounds like that's being in alignment with the business has helped you control those costs.
Well, absolutely. And so an example of that is today you can have technology in snowplow trucks that enable you to have cameras to see the road conditions. Great. Well, we've looked at that. That technology is going to cost us upwards of $2 million. So what do we get for that? And so as we evaluate that technology, we're not finding the payback. Would it be neat? Would it be nice? Are there some cool things that we can do? Absolutely. But where can we better invest that $2 million? And that may be putting that money back into the road or back into our facilities that benefit the customers.
Yep. And again, you're talking about taking care of the customer. I like it.
Right.
So our listeners and viewers are thinking about a new IT business alignment initiative. They want to bring their IT department and their business headed the same direction. If you could give them one piece of advice before they even started so that they would be more successful than without your advice, what would you tell our listeners?
Well, you need to be focused on your employees. You need to be focused on your customers and focused on the business. And you need to know your business really well. Your employees need to know the business really well too. So focusing on the people and the business involves aligning IT, delivering superior customer service because customers today can choose where they're going to go. and you want them to go to where you're at, not your competitor. You've also got to provide IT support, stellar IT support to you, not only internally, but externally to your customers as well, because our customers today expect that Amazon experience when they interact with us, right? And so we need to focus on those things. If we're just focused on the technology, as CIOs, as executives, we're really missing the mark. And it may be then time to polish our resumes.
Yeah, nobody wants that right now. That's great observation, and I think you're demonstrating the importance of discipline in the organization as it relates to IT business alignment. So I think our listeners will appreciate that advice. So last question is, you get a minute and just plug anything you want.
Sure.
Can be your business. You can tell us more about that. You can tell us about a favorite book maybe you're reading, a charity you're involved in, shout out to your family, shout out to your team, whatever you want, go.
Great. So my passion is transportation and technology, and doing what I do, and really focused on the future of where we're going with connected vehicles, autonomous vehicles, electrification on the road. So I'd like to take our listeners back to 1899. Back then, horses and buggy were the primary mode of transportation. Columbus, Ohio was the buggy manufacturing mecca in the United States. Business was thriving, the economy was thriving there. Everybody wanted a horse and buggy across not only the United States, but the world. And that industry was focused on what people wanted from the past and what the customers wanted for the present. They weren't looking at the future. Meanwhile, up in Detroit, Henry Ford and others were focused on the future. And they were working on the automobile, the assembly line, and in a few short years, that all came to fruition. And the horse and buggy basically became a recreational activity. And so I think the lesson there for all of us is that if we're focused too much on the past and on the present, and not focused on the future and what's coming next and what we should be doing next, we just might miss the future. So we really need to be looked at, what's coming in the future and how can we be better at innovating and improving and leveraging the technology that's out there today, like blockchain and artificial intelligence, and everything else that's cutting edge. The future is not coming far away. It's literally right over the horizon.
Great. I really appreciate that future focus. We've been talking to Brian Kelley with the Ohio Turnpike and Infrastructure Commission, CIO there, and thank you for your time. And let's cut it. Well, thanks a lot, Brian. That was very interesting. Cameron, what's one of your takeaways from this video?
I think that one of the things that Brian mentioned that we've seen some alluding to in some of our previous interviews is this kind of triangle of IT business alignment where you've got employee needs, you've got customer needs, and you've got business needs. And making sure that all three of those are in alignment is critical. Oftentimes when we talk about IT business alignment, we're really focusing on either that business to employee alignment or business to customer alignment. But making sure that all three of those are in alignment is really crucial to delivering value through technology, which is the whole point of all of this, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. And I completely agree that Brian drew that triangle together, and uniquely among our interviews, talked about how IT business alignment, we've often seen where it's an internal value generator, but for the Ohio Turnpike and Infrastructure Commission, it's an external value generator. Their IT business alignment initiative adds value to their customers. Thanks again, Brian, and look for the next episode of Synoptus next week.
Thank you for watching Synoptus Lightning Round. For more episodes of Synoptus Lightning Round, visit synoptus.com, Apple Podcasts, Google Play, or wherever you get your podcasts.